A once-in-a-lifetime event is happening tonight. Comet Neowise is going to be visible. I've chosen tonight as the best combination of factors for shooting a comet. It is a new moon tonight. The clouds should be disappearing. And I've come to a local state park that has a lake that runs northwest, and that's where the sun will be setting. And the comet is following the sun. So just set up for sunset and just wait, and the comet should be tailing right behind. I did some scouting last night. Think I know how I want to shoot this. I brought my nifty 50. I think that will work fine. Something a little tighter would be better, but I'll work with what I have. Right now, I have done step one for how I plan on shooting this comet is I've set up my 50mm. I've taken a blue hour shot of the lake and the horizon, the land on the other side of the lake. And what I could do is use the detail and the blue color from blue hour, combine that with my astro shot of the sky, and I just like the way those colors really go together. That blue, cool colors of the land during my twilight or blue hour now works great with astro shots. What I'll do is leave the tripod set up in the exact same position, so I'm shooting the same sky, the same land, the same entire frame, just an hour or 2 hours later. So maybe you're asking, why such a long lens for shooting something that's astronomy in the night sky? Usually people talk about these super wide angle. The comet is much bigger than a single star, but much, much smaller than the Milky Way galaxy. So when people talk about shooting night sky with these wide angle lenses and Milky Way shots, they're shooting a gigantic section of the night sky, and that wide angle works perfectly for getting as much of the galactic core as you can. But if you've ever tried to shoot like the moon with a wide angle lens, or even your cell phone camera, you might have noticed that, man, the moon looks like this tiny little dot in the corner, and you explain to your friends, like, oh, you had to be there though. It was so cool, trust me. That moon was so big on the sky. And the comet's kind of the same idea. It is a tiny section of the sky compared to the Milky Way, but when we see it, man, we think that looks cool, and it looks so much bigger than it is, because we're able to focus in, and our brain kind of uses tricks of relativity, like, oh, relative to the sky, that's pretty big compared to everything, all these other stars. But when you project that on a 2D photo, it doesn't really come through. And you have to be concerned about your composition of making sure that comet is prominent in your picture and not just a tiny few pixels in the corner somewhere. So I'm shooting tighter than I would for any of my Milky Way shots, and I probably could have gone tighter still. Alright, so I already know that my initial composition isn't going to work with my blue hour landscape shot blended with night. As I'm sitting here waiting for darkness to settle in, I saw the Big Dipper well north and higher in the sky than I had expected based on what I had researched. And the Comet Neowise is actually, it looks, one of the tricks to finding it is it looks like it's being poured out of the Big Dipper. So I need to move further down the dam here to adjust my angle to at least get the comet above the water at all. So this is great. I'm laying here just watching the stars come out, and I could just start to see Comet Neowise appearing. It's kind of faint, but I could really tell where it is, and luckily it is a little further west than I initially had thought when I moved, so it should be well within frame, and even throughout the night as the Earth rotates and it dips towards the horizon more as the night goes on, it should stay well within my composition, which means if I'm willing to hang out here later and later
it might look even better as it gets closer to the horizon, and we'll get multiple shots of trying to see which composition works best with the comet at what height in the sky. The Milky Way is right behind me. I mean, it's above my head, so when I lay back like this, staring up, I could see the Milky Way behind me, and in front of me, the lake, the Big Dipper, and Comet Neowise. What a sight, and I hope I could do it justice with the picture. I got to sit here and watch the Milky Way come out, the night sky. Dummy. I got to sit here tonight and watch the Milky Way come out in the night sky, watch satellites pass by as I was laying on the ground, see the shooting stars, and best of all, a once-in-a-lifetime comet. And I think I got a decent selection of shots. I'm very happy with the night regardless. If nothing came out, this was pretty memorable just being out here. But clouds have moved in and covered up the comet, and it's about midnight, so I should be heading in. And I have a task of hiking through the park in near darkness and getting back to my car safely. What a treat that was. And I'm always excited to get out here in the night sky, but that was just amazing. The first two spots didn't look like they were going to work out, so found a standby next to the Wisconsin River. I feel like I can't go too wrong with having the river included in the shot. This will be my last night going out. The moon has begun waxing right now, and even though the comet is close to Earth, the waxing moon is really going to put too much luminosity in the sky, and a faded comet like Neowise is not going to show up as well. Alright, I've gone insane trying to get some crazy composition. Neowise is further west tonight than I thought. I mean, I had to figure the comet is changing position in the sky every night. I didn't know it was sliding further west, but that made it slide closer to this new quarter moon, this new crescent moon, that's setting on the horizon. So I thought maybe I'd be able to get a panorama astro shot, which is pretty tough. Try to get the shots that I need for it. I don't know. That's a lot of things to try and get right, including leveling a tripod at night and finding focus in the dark and the night sky, and the crazy luminosity difference even between a crescent moon and a fading comet like Neowise. I finished up taking the crazy panorama moon and comet shot. It's a lot of stuff to juggle. I'm really not expecting much, but if that did work out, here is that picture of a blend of a setting moon and panorama with Comet Neowise. Well, I couldn't help myself and I had to stop one more time, almost to the way home, and there's this little preserve that is marshland and prairie, but it's kind of flattened out. And I thought about this as a shot from before because it looks northwest at a farm, and just I pulled in dark and looked, and the comet was sitting right above the farm, so I thought it was worth a try. Here is one more shot from tonight. Comet Neowise above a local farm in the prairie. That is it for my shots of Neowise. I'll have to retire and say goodbye to the comet for another 6,800 years. And here are the pictures I did get.